Montani.
Chadman Beck.
We're Ghost Stalkers on Destination America.
And you are watching Search Existence Unknown.
Every time you said county home, it was the perception of people who didn't have anything. And it was not your home. You were leaving your home. I think they felt pretty well separated from people. I'm sure they felt, here I am over here in the county home, and it's a home for people who don't have a home.
It was something that I had never seen or never observed before. Well, it was a feeling of more or less helplessness for these people.
They were there because they didn't have a place to go. They didn't have anyone to look after them or food or stuff like that.
My youth have gone by, then over the hill to the poorhouse I wander alone there to die.
My name is Chris Magg, and I'm on a personal mission to find the truth, the supernatural experiences that my family witnessed when I was a child in Southern California. I am now joined by my good friends, Patrick Shields, Rick White, Chad Summerfield, and Derek Mack. Together, we explore the claims of supernatural activities. No matter what we encounter, we will continue our search for the existence unknown.
Dennis, thank you, brother. Hi. How you doing, man?
Good.
So you just walked us through here real quick. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I don't know if you believe in it or not, but I'm gonna tell you, man. The energy I felt coming up these stairs, besides getting winded, especially I don't know, it was the third floor or second floor down there. It kind of just threw me for a loop. What I want to know is from you, the history that you've heard about this place and what you was kind of telling us a little bit ago. Why don't you go in detail with it?
Okay. Well, my understanding is somewhere around 1826, the Fairfield County Commissioners purchased 80 acres of property out here. It was on both sides of the road of the state highway, and they established an infirmary. And this was for county residents who didn't have a place to live, or were poor, or whatever. And then from that point on, the complex progressed. 2 years later, they built the first portion of this brick building here, which is a small portion that I can show you. Basically from this wall to the next wall. That was the very first section that was built in 1828. And then there were additions added on to that over the years. But they also purchased additional property, up to 210 acres at one point in time, I think. And it became a self-sustaining working farm and infirmary, and later called the poorhouse, and later called the county home for residents of Fairfield County who just didn't have any place else to go. They were at a point in life where either they had nothing or no family or whatever. For whatever reason, they ended up in the care of the county in those days.
Poorhouses in the United States, they evolved from their English precedents. The English common law provided for communities to take care of a certain amount of the poor. It was generally what they talked about as being the deserving poor, which were orphans, widows, elderly people. Poorhouses that were created, they varied from place to place. I mean, some of them were more elaborate than others. The treatment that as they called them, the inmates of the poorhouses that they received would be, some places was better than other, because it really depended on local conditions and the people that were charged with actually running the poorhouses.
They went there, they received food, they received shelter, they received attention by the community, by various church groups visiting.
Now, when you're talking about the people, these are like the more the poor people, less fortunate. we're also talking about, you mentioned just briefly, just a minute ago, about there is a cell, what looks like a cell still here, that they had inmates here.
Well, I think when you had residents here, and they were called inmates, but they were really just residents that lived here, you had all kinds of problems of life that occurred. You had medical conditions, so they actually had an in-house doctor. It might have even just been the superintendent at that time. They just practiced medicine, I'm not sure, but they took care of all their own medical problems. They had disciplinary problems, of course, and when they did, there were very strict rules on what you could do and what you couldn't do when you were in here. So one of the things that would occur was that you would get confined to this room or this cell, and it actually has iron doors on the front of it, and it looks just like a jail cell, but it's one location that still remains in this building, and you can see that.
I think the county was required by law to care for these people. I think they did the very least they could do, obviously by putting them on a farm. They did what other inmates did throughout the state, whether it be prisons or county homes, that the county home had to be self-sufficient.
In the late 18th and 19th century, and I guess, in many places well into the 20th century, there were not necessarily, state-run orphanage facilities, and so children whose parents had died, or for whatever reason their parents were no longer able to take care of them, they would oftentimes find themselves in the poorhouse. Sometimes the poorhouses would even advertise that, we have children here, if you're looking, to adopt a child, come to the poorhouse, and we might have a child that would make a wonderful addition to your family.
My name is Jimmy Lee Carter, and I was born in the county home in Yadkin County. Of course, it was a scary place because there were some people in there. There was old people, and I was just a kid. Well, the only thing I know that I got food and I got a place to lay down, and I don't know who took care of me because I was all over the place, hiding most of the time. There's memories I can remember of my sister. We was in the county home together. I used to kind of look after her because I was a year or two older than she was.
I remember him holding on to me, just holding on to me, but I didn't know he was my brother. Like I said, he just helped me by the hand, and I thought that little boy, helped me by the hand. He wasn't with me anymore, and it was sad. As far as I'm concerned, the only good treatment I had was after my adopted mother and daddy got me, because the county home was a bad place. It might have been better that we had a roof over our head. Yeah. It might have been good that we had a little something to eat. Yeah. But as far as being treated like children should be treated, no.
You see some sort of out of sight, out of mind attitude toward the people out there. However, the local churches, whether they be Baptist, Methodist, or Quakers, went to the county home on Sunday afternoon and fed the inmates a meal and had a worship service.
The churches were very much involved with it. Other organizations.
To me, one of the first rules in this is, there but for the grace of God go I. And that's one reason I think that we often try to put people out of sight somewhere so we don't notice them, because it's hard to be reminded that this can happen, and in many ways it can happen to anyone. I think society puts a shame on being poor, particularly American society, and we're unusual. I mean, throughout human history, 90% of people have been poor. And now it's expected that, well, nobody should be poor, and if you're poor, it's your fault or you have some great defect. So it's not some horrible aberration, it's really part of the human condition.
Now, I heard that at one point, after this place closed down, the last occupants in here, that past employees that worked here have experienced something of the paranormal. And What's your thoughts on that, man?
Yeah, I've heard the same things. I've not personally witnessed anything myself, and I've only been in a leadership position here in the county for about a year and a half, 2 years. But I have heard reports that that there's a lot of history in the building, from especially back when the residents were here. Certain things that happened and went on, but even some of the facilities maintenance staff that work for me have shared stories of things that they've personally seen, when they were out here maybe late at night, housekeeping or whatever they were doing. And this is back a few years ago, but there have been a lot of interesting things go on that fall into that category, that's for sure.
Do you believe in it?
I'm not sure I do or not, but I could be convinced.
There's nothing wrong with that.
On up the stair right here, above the is a cupola. Above this attic area is a cupola. It was a lookout area, to be able to see what everyone was doing in the fields and all different things.
Wow.
Like my story or my information that I've heard is that the superintendent of the complex would go up there to be able to get a good bird's eye view where everybody was at, what was going on and everything. This old road, Granville Pike, which is a state highway now, also back in those days was just a dirt road or a brick road, I think maybe at one point in time. But it was also part of the Underground Railroad where slaves migrated up through here, and there's a number of other, if you follow this road north 20, 30, 40 miles, there's a number of other structures that supposedly were hideout points on the Underground Railroad up through there. So,
because when you mentioned about that up there, the first thing I thought of, because we have actually visited quite a few locations that supported the Underground Railroad, that they would put a candle up somewhere high so slaves could see it and knew it would be a safe haven.
Yes, I've heard that.
And that's what I thought about that as soon as you told me that.
Candle or lantern, yeah.
Candle or lantern, yeah, bro.
Well, there's natural springs or streams that come out, and out here behind it, there's actually a big stoned area. When I say stoned, I mean walled area, sandstone walls, where the springs came into that, and that's where they collected the water. But the springs also were piped under this building and right under the floors, and that's part of the reason we've had so much problems here with mold and other varmints and other things we have, is because the building's so damp. And it's so damp because the springs actually flow under there's a point in the basement down here I can take you, which is where they kept all their cheeses and meats and everything, because it was like a natural refrigerator.
Oh yeah,
spring water.
Yeah,
you can hear the water flowing under the floor slab. You can just hear it gurgling.
That's a refrigerator. That's old school right there, man.
Yeah. So this was the fridge or freezer?
I think that was a fridge. This is a fridge.
Dude, that's huge.
Or bodies.
Very.
It was I remember reading that the morgue was here, but I guess. I don't know.
Somehow they had the spring water piped through these troughs.
I think it came through the pipe that's broken off.
We're not 100% sure how these troughs were used, whether it was a food preparation or somebody's even surmised that they, in the dead of winter, they put dead bodies in there. So when you couldn't go out and bury them because it was 20 below zero, they kept them in here until they could.
Now we just talked to Dennis a little bit ago, and he told us some pretty amazing history about this place. Now, from what I understand, you worked here at this facility for quite a long time?
Probably about 6 years.
6 years. So, what's your experience about this place? What's your thoughts on this place?
If you've got the mindset that there is ghosts, I would believe that there's ghosts in the building. I've actually heard noises that was pretty impressive.
Really?
It's like one morning I came in before anybody was in the building, me and another guy. We heard we were going to change out a water line in the restroom.
Yeah.
We heard someone using the bathroom. They were urinating. After we waited until they got through urinating, the commode flushed. So we waited for the person to leave. After a couple minutes, nobody left, so we looked underneath and there was nobody in the stall.
Oh.
So, and we've been in the rooms where there's no lights.
Yeah.
But we've had just a bright flash go off behind us.
We've heard about the history, how they actually they housed the poor, some of the unfortunate. Possibly some of the unwanted?
Probably some displaced children. There was broken families. There was homeless people. So yeah, they've had different types of families and people in the building.
Floor right above us, because this place has got 3 floors.
4 counting the attic.
And which is huge. Oh my God, man, that thing is huge. It just goes on and on and on.
It is.
But on the floor right above us, man, I'm not gonna lie, it creeped me out. I don't know why it creeps me out. What's the history with the 2nd floor?
That's where most sightings have been.
Really?
Yeah, that's where most people's had experiences, is on the 2nd floor.
Why is that?
I have no idea. I know that's where the patients that used to be here, it's like the men would be on the south wing, the women on the north wing. So there was just, a lot of communications back and forth from the men and the women. So I'm sure some of those people expired. Maybe their ghost is still there, I don't know.
So we got a couple guests that's going to be joining us tonight. It's Amy and Rod. They're more familiar with this place than we are, obviously. So this is Amy. She's a heavy talker. And that's Rod, obviously. So we're getting ready to do our thing here. We're ready to rock this out, and we're going to see what happens. So, guys, like we said before, if you see anything, go ahead and email us at www.tspnorthernkentucky.com, and we'll get back to you if you see something. Alright, here we go, dude. You with us? Mm-hmm. Audio session number 1 at Fairfield Infirmary, dude. Let's do this, man. Kill these lights.
Session 1, Fairfield Infirmary. Where they go, attic?
Yeah.
Rod, Amy, Chad, Derek going to the attic, me and Chris are going to the 2nd floor.
Here we go. I'm telling you, dude, this place has so many twists and turns on it, bro.
Yeah, some of it's a little uneven.
Hey, who's down there? Oh, dude, come on.
What?
Pat.
What?
Walk up the middle and come across again. Alright, from there. Come up. Walk this way. Oh, no. Alright, dude, I'm gonna tell you what I just see. I thought Derek or somebody was still down there. Walk into that room, the dungeon area.
Really?
Yeah. That was really weird. I thought it was your shadow from the window, but it wasn't. No. It was thick. It was like looking at like Derek. Seriously, man. Because he's wearing all black and he's big guy. And that's what it looked like. Derek going into that, where I guess the dungeon area is supposed to be. I didn't really think.
It's alright. It's alright. Just got here. We'll see.
No. See, I don't know. This floor freaks me out, dude. It freaks me out, bro. It really does.
Close the door.
Yeah. Yeah, let me close it.
Yep, that's what I saw.
Alright. Where the f does that go?
That's a bathroom.
Back in there?
Yep. A lot of the activity they had here was the bathrooms, dude. Like,
Huh?
a lot of the activity they had here, well, from what they said.
He's in the
happened in
bathroom.
the
Oh my god, man. I don't know what's going on with me right now, dude.
Why?
Dude, I'm just.
on the edge right now, dude. I've like paranoia sensation. No idea why.
Is this still your home? Can you please tell me how many people are in this attic besides the four of us? What the hell is that?
I don't know.
Even though this EVP is low, everyone that is in the attic all heard what sounded like me talking right behind Chad, which truly blew Chad away because Pat and I are 3 floors below them.
Can you please tell me how many people are in this attic besides the four of us? What the hell is that?
I don't know.
Can you please tell me how many people are in this attic besides the four of us? What the hell is that?
I don't know.
Can you please tell me how many people are in this attic besides the four of us? What the hell is that?
I don't know.
I heard it too, clear as day. You guys on the third or on the second?
What did you say?
I don't know.
We're on the second.
That's what you said.
You were not just on the third floor at all.
Not right now, no.
Sounded like you were right behind me, dude. I heard that plain as day. It sounded like you were standing right there, and I looked back and I seen a light in that hallway or in the staircase. And
Is that like piano keys underneath my feet, dude?
Come forward.
Piano keys, dude.
you're actually starting to dance, dude.
Making music.
That's awesome. Yeah, I haven't even explored down here at all.
It's so much cooler down here.
Yeah, it is. speakers on that make noise.
Oh, sorry, dude. No, dude. Dude, do me a favor.
What?
Dude, walk back in there again.
Where at?
Back in there.
Walk back in here?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. No.
What's wrong, man? What?
Dude, I don't know if you heard it or what. Someone just ran up on me. Like, just ran up on me, dude.
Seriously?
Yeah. Just going back just to see if it's my own ears or. Somebody said after. Hold on, sorry.
Oh, shit. Dude. Dude, that sounds like someone's picking up pace coming up right behind you. Right before you hear me, well, before I burp, Pat captured a very chilling sound of something or someone running up behind him, which would be the start of some strange events.
Like, I don't know if it was my own energy. Like, I still got chills. I don't know. It's probably just my own thing. But I know I heard something picking up pace, dude, and it wasn't you, and I wasn't moving.
Well, I wasn't moving that fast.
No, that was fast.
After Pat captured the chilling sounds of somebody running up behind him, everything from this moment on began to go haywire. Some type of interference with Pat's camera and some very intense moments with a spirit that was trying so hard to let us know it is still there.
Maybe I need this flashlight. I'm not afraid, but nervous even back towards something. Let's go. Get over it.
God.
What?
Oh.
Did I freak you out?
No, I got that feeling again, man.
Dude, I just had the feeling.
Are we freaking each other out right now?
Why? Because we keep having experiences? I saw yours, you saw yours, and you heard mine.
Yeah, here's yours. Just go.
What?
Let's just go.
Dude.
Yeah, just come on.
Yeah. Behind you again, dude, whatever. Is there something following us, man?
I really can't tell. You see anything down there?
It's kind of blacked out.
Yeah. Pat and I don't know if we're dealing with the same person or individual, but Just to let you know, we saw someone upstairs on the second floor. And we heard something down here, and I seen something down here. Someone, not something, someone. Because you are a someone. Just want to know where you're at, man, so we can talk with you.
Oh, is that you just yelling? Time out. Time out. Shit yourself, dude.
Dude!
What happened?
Someone just moved fucking by that window, dude.
Did you just... that was you saying...
Yeah, dude, because it fucking freaked me out.
Freaked me out.
Someone's gotta be outside, dude. Dude, okay, man, check it out, guys. You guys have been watching this for 3 seasons now. I don't know what to say. We've never reacted like this, I don't think. I mean, I got pissed off at OSPH when I got slapped in the face. You got freaked out at Penhurst when something tried to choke you. Got nothing. Let's do it again. Come on. Let's go down here. Go ahead.
I'm nervous about going down here, I'm not gonna lie to you, but...
Dude, so am I. You gotta face it.
That's what next thing.
All right. As funny as it sounds, we come in peace.
We don't want no prosper and all that.
We don't want no problems, man. We just, I got you, bro. You're good.
Why am I getting like a headache and all lethargic?
Maybe we need to take a break.
Huh?
Maybe we need to take a break.
Yeah.
Recoup. All right. I have this device in my hand. It records your voice. I don't know how old you are, if you understand what I have in my hand or not. But it will record your voice. So I'm going to stop it and hit record again. And if you have anything to say, I'm going to leave this right here. If you have anything to say, please feel free. Okay? All right, ending this audio. Audio session number 2. What, bro? What's what?
Sounds like wind.
God damn it! The f***?
What the f*** is that, dude? What the f*** was that, dude?
This was one of the most intense parts of the night. We could not dismiss this as any natural causes. It truly sounded like somebody was hitting something so hard to get our attention right in front of us. And you have to remember, Derek, Chad, and the 2 guests that were with him are 3 floors above us.
Sounds like wind. 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 Go! Not the elevator.
Chad, where are you? Stop.
Tell them to come down. Tell him to come downstairs.
No. The fuck was that, Pat?
I don't know, dude.
There's something fucking going on down here, dude, big time on the first floor, dude. It sounded like someone just fucked some shit up.
Careful. Go around those corners, dude. Get your flashlight out. I don't know. It's a possibility. That was so loud.
Dude, we're
oh my god.
Me and Pat about dropped, dude. Seriously, we don't know what's going on.
Turn these lights on, dude.
Turn them on, dude.
Oh, what the that was, dude. That was so loud.
We need to go outside real quick. After Rod and Amy left for the night and Pat and I regained ourselves from the intense moments on the first floor, we regrouped with Chad and Derek and then made our way to the second floor where we heard walking again right above us. It's no more fun and games. If there's anything here, wherever you're at, man or woman, let's just get this done with. I'm Chris, this is Pat, Chad, and Derek. We're here to meet you. So let's get this taken care of. Let's just do this. Can you tell us where you're at so we can kind of come towards you? Hello? What?
Did you hear that? Yeah.
What direction?
Sounded like it was coming from you.
Alright.
That it didn't sound like it was super close. It could sound like it could have been on the stairs or in that other hallway back there.
Okay, good. Keep coming this way, please. All right, look. We don't know who you are. Do you know who the one is that ran up behind Pat downstairs?
What was that? What was that talking?
Oh, that's not one of you guys?
Was that been outside?
No, dude, that was a whisper, man. I heard that. What we just captured was the very same sounds we heard earlier downstairs with Pat and I, and when we regrouped. Heavy walking, which when we heard these steps this time, it sounded like something was walking right towards us.
What was that? What was that talking?
Oh, that's not one of you guys?
What was that? What was that talking?
Oh, that's not one of you guys?
What was that? What was that talking?
Oh, that's not one of you guys?
I heard like a pop, like a cracking, like back on the staircase. Alright, let's just keep listening.
He's walking.
Whatever it is, it's getting closer.
Yeah, it is. know what's wild about this EVP? It sounds like a woman is trying so hard to talk with us while we're setting up a tripod in a hallway about 75 feet away from the static cam. And this woman sounds like she is right next to the static camera. The rest of the night seemed to calm down after a while in this Fairfield County poorhouse, and we began to wrap things up. But one thing that I can't stop thinking about is that this infirmary was a home to so many unfortunate people. For them to have a roof over their heads from the cold and the rainy days truly would leave an impression on them and the infirmary. For those that lost their lives here, has their energy stayed because of the comfort that they once experienced here and was provided to them when times were hard? It's places like this that helped so many people in the early years of America and can always hold a very loving place in their hearts, alive and spiritually.